Game on. Poop jokes. I like poop jokes. No, you can't. I took out BJ. Oh. You're just getting too deep, man. Pull out, you've gone too deep. My 12-pound axe. That's what I've named my penis. Oh, yeah. Hello, friends, and happy Monday. A little bit of Quinn in that voice right there. That's work? Yeah, that's working. All right. How's everybody doing? Hello, Rick. Hello, Cryptid. Hello, Malibu. Hello, Stream Elements. What's up? Still hanging out, I see. Good for you, Stream Elements. Good for you. Yeah, I can't. There's just too much to juggle between two stream overlays. This is how you juggle stream overlays. How was your almost week, my friends? I saw you Wednesday over on Twitch, and then I took Friday off to hang out with my fam dam, which was good, as well as do some other stuff. And yeah, it was a busy weekend for yours truly. It was I mean, relatively speaking, it was didn't see nothing. Are you saying nothing, Nicole? Why didn't you see nothing? What's the matter, you? Did you broke your eyes? Been too tired to catch late streams. Oh, well, hey, welcome to the late night. Welcome to the late night here in the arts department. A little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of art, a whole bunch of dirty innuendos, all up in your fucking business. Yeah, I'm never gonna get monetized on YouTube. They're like, he's way too adult. Maybe by the time I actually get monetized, they'll have an adult section of YouTube. Done forgot to tie my pants. Tie my pants. That's how you know I'm half naked. Yeah, as the alert says, do the likes and the follows and go to the Discord and the blah 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 whatever. So, what'd you all get up to this weekend? I did a lot of shit on Saturday, like packed everything. So Friday night, stayed up really late talking to my sister and my niece, who just talk. And then Saturday, because they arrived here right about when I would have been streaming on Friday, so then we just talked for the rest of the night. And then Saturday we woke up, I made him breakfast, and we hopped in the car and we went and did shit. We went to mini golf, and we played mini golf, and we went to the arcade and we played games and just were dumb and silly. And then we went and got food, and then we went from food, we came back here, had a little break. Everybody kind of caught their breath, and then we went bowling, and then we came back here and everybody caught their breath, and the niece passed out, and then me and my sister talked until like 1 a.m. And then they got up and they left on Sunday, and I was like, holy shit, I'm fucking bored the fuck out. I need to do some things, and like tried to do stuff all day and just had zero energy, just fucking nothing. Just a big fat 0. Yeah. Had a nice weekend spent Saturday relaxing and costumes, yesterday with loved ones. There you go. That's the way it should be. Yeah. So that was my weekend. And then I popped up, or passed out early last night and popped up bright and early to kick around concepts for movie posters and shit today. So it's not all bad. Oh yeah, and then I had a doctor's appointment. Doctor was like, hey, guess what? You're over a certain age. So we're going to need to do this, and we're going to need to do this, and we're going to need to do this, and we're going to need to do this. How about all that? And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? What's the matter with you? He's like, I can get you to 80 if you just do all the things regularly. I was like, that's a lot of fucking things to do regularly, doc. So, yeah. But then the rest of the day was chill, and I made art, and then now I'm here with you guys, hanging out Monday night, super chill with the rock and roll music because I gotta do it. There you go. Hey, Art Turkel over on the Instas. What are we doing? What are we doing? So today, friends, welcome to the arts department, where today we will be doing sketches, and then later we'll be doing some animation. We'll be making things move. A lot of yard work, removed all the grass, started to level it, removed 2 trees, went and bought a blackberry bush and a caracara orange tree, planted them, and got a PS5 with Tiny Tina's Wonderland. That's cool, Rick. We worked on some of that Tiny Tina's stuff at the studio. In fact, the launch trailer was us. Wait, where's the fucking... there we go. Hey, what's up? Featured art. What's the matter with you, featured art? You're supposed to be actually on the page. There we go. Featured art. Rick, that sounds like a lot of stuff, and very manly stuff. Removing trees and stuff like that. Very fun and D&D related, which makes it even better. Yeah, that was their sales pitch to us when we were working on it. Did some fun stuff for that game. A lot of drawings and conceptings and stuff like that. And that's always fun. Fun is fun. In other news. Gee, thanks, Captain Obvious. So, my sketching has been very loose today, and that's not going to be any different now. But the reason being that I just haven't really felt... Well, first and foremost, this is ideation for dragon stuff, right? So we're just gonna do some dragon stuff. So, yeah, dragons. So this is supposed to be, well, here, let's hold on to this template there. This is supposed to be for our buddy Rick here, for his Twitch stream redemption of artwork that he's earned by spending a shit ton of time with us. Started drawing it. Draw this in your style. Decided I wanted to do a 3/4 body pose with hands and a smile. Started coloring it and hated it. Now I'm doing it digitally. Still unhappy with it. Maybe it's because I am so out of my element. I'm struggling to see it as good. Nicole, you know what that probably means is that your aesthetic has outstripped your current skill set. And that just means you have to work on your skill set, and then your aesthetic will catch up, and you'll do that one piece where you're like, bam, I did it. And then you're gonna look at that piece later and be like, well, shit, now my aesthetics have moved up, and now this, I see the things wrong with it. So now I gotta struggle bust some more. So you're in a good spot. That means you have the room to improve, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's I was doing the same thing with the spine stuff. You guys watched me struggle on these past like probably 3 or 4 streams with this stuff, but I've been learning it, and I have a little bit more of a firm grasp on it now, and we actually get to do some animation, and I am better for it. So it's a good place to be in. The struggle's hard, and the struggle on camera is even harder because I'm like, hey, look, I'm a dummy. So Rick, would it be cheating to just draw a dragon like this, or just like that's your, there you go. There's your dragon, and you're done. Got a nice arc burn from converting a cart into a welding cart. Wait, and I feel like there's a longer story in there than a sentence and a half. 2 thumbs up. Right up your butt. So basically we're gonna start with big shapes, right? Sariana? What are you doing here? Sorry, everybody, you awake now? It was the metal. It's just... Sorry, Nicole. No breaks for you. Get back to work. You're busy. Moving and packing is very tiresome indeed. That's here I'm gonna pull a Rick, I'm gonna pull a Daniel. That's one word and it's tiresome. What is this? Is not metal music. Listen, you son of a actual bitch. Oh, I can't change it. I forgot I can't change it because it's in a different playlist. Because I'm dumb. Oh wait, no, I can. Okay, bye. Not you guys. The music. But yeah, I can imagine. You've been going balls out for a while, which is weird because you don't have balls, so it's quite an accomplishment, actually. Hey, Sariana, what do you call it? That pet sitter that you got, was that an average cost, or were there cheaper, less expensive people for pet sitting? And where do you get a good pet sitter at? Is there a network of pet sitters? Good evening, Viscera. Welcome in. She's one of the less expensive options, actually, and yes, it's called Rover. Is it only? It's got to be cats too, right? Because, yeah. I mean, it's got to be all pets. Because, you know, if I had a goldfish, I'd want somebody to watch my goldfish for me. Lots of animals, they average around $50 to $100 a night, depending on the pet and special needs and all that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Sariana. I appreciate that feedback. So, what I'm doing right now is putting together kind of just the rough sketches / ideation for this undead dragon that Rick wanted. He's just there for 7 days, so it was a little more expensive. Right, 7 days. Damn. Hello, B. Welcome in. Nice to see you. I think I actually can do shout-outs right now. Can I? Can I? Let's see. No? Okay. Well, maybe not. So everybody, that's our friend Bikake. She has streams on multiple platforms. There it is. Hey. Yes, it worked. If you don't already follow B, you should. You probably already do if you're here, because there's not a lot of new people here. But B is a wonderful artist who does wonderful art and is infinitely more entertaining than I am. Plus, she's just good to look at. Much less hair on her face. Yeah. Sup, Salt? What's going on? Salty? How you doing? So, friends, we were gonna do shenanigans, and we only got 6 people to chime in, so we canceled it. So, y'all should feel horrible about yourselves if you didn't chime in. Pack your bags, you're going on a guilt vacation, as Diego would say. Aw, Sariana's lurking. How dare she? Okay, so we're continuing on with the idea here. I've never actually done an undead dragon before. That was the ask, right, Rick? See, here's the issue, is we've got that, and then that, and this isn't very interesting, right? So our medium is the dragon, although I guess the wing does kind of count as the dragon, so it's still the biggest shape on there. So put a little guy here on just a plateau of rock, right? And since we're on a Dutch tilt, we've got all this smoke kind of coming up, or not smoke, but dead fog of death, dead fog. Anyway, yeah, and so his tail's like wrapping around. Might have to indicate that more, like. Or maybe bring it the other way? Maybe bring it around this way? No, I like it like that because it draws you to where the guy's gonna be, right? Everything's pointing to this little guy who should probably be right about here. And just like, what the fuck? But I didn't sign up for that. Sounds about right. The death breath. That's what I call it when I wake up in the morning. Come here, baby. Prepare yourself for the death breath. He's just like, what? Doesn't even know what to do. He's just... See, if he's forward like that, one leg back, okay. So this is gonna come kind of straightish down. So we're just gonna fill in the shape for the most part of where this guy's gotta be. He's like, fuck. Me and my tiny sword. It could be a little bigger than that, but it's all... What is happening? Oh boy, notes. Work notes. I love work notes. That's called sarcasm. I wonder how much of like zooms and stuff like that you guys see. B just came in and said hi and then disappeared. She was like, hello. Okay, bye. I imagine all you guys are working or something, right? Is that what's happening? Like, Sariana's packing. Nicole Lamerson is drawing. Rick is burning himself. Viscera is writing something eloquent and amazing. Salt is practicing who knows what. It's always hard to know with Salt because Salt does like 600 things. and B is either finally relaxing and playing some games or drawing 600 things at once. Did you guys hear the alert? I'm just staring blankly into space. Texas, that's work. That's work. Now, the burning came from the weekend and gotta wait on more metal to finish up the cart. At this time, you can assume I am high and playing a game. Nice, B. Sometimes, it's what you gotta do. Little relaxation. Friends, I realized yesterday I was trying really hard. Like, I wanted to paint so bad. I was like, man, I just want to continue that oil painting. I want to get these paintings moved along, because like if I leave the oil paint in the freezer for too long, it's gonna dry, and then I'm just gonna have to scrape the palette, and I'm gonna have to start all over. And I've got those beautiful colors that I mixed up, and I just couldn't do it. I tried so hard yesterday. I was like, come on, get into that, and I just. Like, every time I tried to get creative, I was like, I don't want to go downstairs and watch TV. It's just fucking, I'm tired. My throat hurts. I just fucking didn't sleep enough. Like, but I got like 8.5 hours of sleep on Saturday night. Slept in. And then woke up and was like, okay, bye, sister. But yesterday was just tore up from the previous day. And plus, my niece had a cold. So I'm almost positive yesterday I was like fighting whatever she had, or the remnants of whatever she had. So if I'm sick on Wednesday, you'll know why. I'm not gonna get sick. I'm not gonna get sick. Mind over matter. I say stuff and disappear because I get tired and go to bed only to realize later I didn't even say goodbye. It's nothing against you, it's me being antisocial. I can appreciate that, Nicole. I do the same thing. Like, I hang out in people's streams as much as I can, show them support and love and chat as much as I can, and then, you know, it's like you just fill up that old social meter, right? And then you're like, okay, it's cool. Okay. And then you're gone, and they're like talking to you and you're not there, and then later on they're like, hey man, what happened? You didn't even say goodbye. But, you know, I'm kind of the belief that it's when somebody's doing a stream, it's better to not say goodbye. It's better to just kind of bounce out. Just bounce out. Just take care of yourself. Take care of yourself and take care of your mental health, right? The reason I think that it's good to not say goodbye is because when you say goodbye, somebody goes, "Oh, what time is it?" Right? It's like the party, right? When you're at a party and somebody's like, "Oh, it's late. I gotta get going," and then everybody's like, "Oh, fuck! I didn't realize it's so long. Hey, it was really good to see you, man. Don't call me. Call. Yeah, bye." Oh man, I can appreciate that, Nicole. So I absolutely appreciate that you're even here when you have to wake so early, because I would be winding down, you know? Like, I found that is, like, there's no way I can wake up at 6:30. Just absolutely not. I've tried in the past, and I'm just not a morning person. I'm like hard-coded to stay in bed until 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Doing master studies to improve and develop my own style and preference. Sorry, I was busy and couldn't respond. Hey, it's all good, Lo-Fi. Master studies are good, as long as you know what you're looking at. I mean, even if you don't know what you're looking at, if you're just guessing, hell yeah, do it. Could be worse, right? I'm gonna get rid of this arm here because I don't like it, and I'm gonna put it out to this side. And it's gonna be doing this kind of like magic stuff with his hands. Although in my universe, dragons don't need to do, like, they don't have to do motions with their hands and shit. There's no There's no movements that they need to do. They're just fucking, they just think magic and it happens. But this guy is I'm gonna have him summoning a skeletal army. So essentially this guy here, he's fucked. I realize I'm a big fan of Art Nouveau, so I decided to research and study some of the popular artists from the movement. Lo-fi, man, you are bouncing all over the place, brother. you're like, every time I look up, you're like moving at Mach speed into another movement or another study or something like that. Also can't wait to see your dragon piece. Well, thank you. So the thing about these skeletons, though, is they're gonna be pretty obfuscated by a lot of that green smoke. I don't know. Maybe it's red. Yeah, whatever you need to do to keep motivated, man, for sure. It just seems like you're like just moving through everything so fast. But I can understand that because I go from one thing to the next pretty quickly too, as far as like things I want to produce or things I want to look at, right? That's how I keep myself interested. That's why we are currently working on sketches for the dragon piece rather than other things. I open that up a little bit, but you're at such a massive skill level, and I've been doing this. Haven't been doing this. Wait, what? And have been doing this for quite some time. Yes, yes, I have. I've been doing it forever. I mean, I've known forever what was gonna do, so. For me, it was just a matter of like determining what things were going to get me down the path the quickest, and then also determine what things I was enjoying the most at the time, which sounds like what you're doing. So make the most of it. Rock and roll, brother. Okay, so sketch 1 done. Next, put it off the screen so that you're not looking at it, so that you can focus on creating the next one without being influenced by the previous one. So really, at this level, I'm thinking composition, right? Yeah, this is all just thumbnails. Just getting the general idea down. So this one I'm thinking much closer. Maybe one eye is rotten out completely, so it's just an orb. Get that lurk, lo-fi. So let's make this guy even smaller than the previous one. I'm just looking up at him like, fuck, dude. I was just kidding. I was just kidding. These are the things I used to do these what do you call them? Speed paints, where it was all just shape oriented, right? And I would just smash through them super fast, like probably like an hour and a half sometimes. I mean, we're not married to this form factor. This might actually work better if we did this. Just kind of want to just like draw a little poop running down his leg. There was a technique you showed us one night in which you divided the page into 9 squares, then began laying in various shapes and angles in a stream of consciousness way to see what might develop. Yeah, Viscera. It's similar to that, but it's rather than doing the 9 squares thing, it was just like, so what I would do is on the way into work, I'd be thinking about what I think would make a fun image, and then when I got into work, I would just like, okay, let's do the warm-up, and I would like sit down and put that image immediately onto paper. So I would skip kind of the 9 images and just lock into one of those and take those a little bit further. Ruh-roh. Just fucked that up, didn't I? There we go. Back to that. Yeah, you know what? Okay, here. So I kind of need to work this out so that, because the idea for me is to get this little guy in front of the mouth and just have him being lit by the flame that's building in the mouth. But that's going to be challenging to get to, but at the same time you get all these great shapes coming from the teeth, and then he just becomes one of those shapes, right? And because he's going to be, I mean, like kind of decaying in bones and stuff, you get some really fun things going on. But all the light would be coming through here, and we could have light coming out through the nostrils, right? Oh, thanks, Ariana. I hope it's going to be fun or excited, or what did you just say? Fun. Yeah, fun piece. I do. Really, I'm looking right now for things that are going to be interesting ideation stuff, right? So let's take that out real quick. Put this guy here. Merge those down and see what the shape looks like. See, I think here's the problem that Daniel and I have talked about this quite a bit. As soon as you get into these front views on dragons, you lose a lot of what makes a dragon unless you have it all in the background, like defining dragon, right? So that might not work. But I feel like there's a kind of like a really fun story beat there, right? So there's two problems with that story beat, and that is, like, if you have that guy, right? Have that guy. Let's say we have him. Now let's strum again. Do a different fucking. So you have that guy, right? And then you want to have like this big dragon head. And it has to be like, it's going to have to be like right up on him. Unless you did something where it's further back. And he's on some kind of cliff, and there's some stuff between them. And he's like got legs up and stuff like that, right? But you can't really see the rest of, because let's say this is a dragon, a four-limbed dragon, for argument's sake. So his wings are, he just pads around on his wings, on like this part of his wings, right? So this is all folded up wing back here. And bones and shit like that. But then you lose that neck, right? Unless you have like tons of spines and stuff going back, and you have a lot of overlapping shapes here that show that there's some depth to it, right? Make this guy even smaller. Rick, I'm sorry if this isn't what you had in mind, friend, but we have to investigate these things, because there might be something really fun and interesting here. And we could end up with, you know, a portfolio piece out of this one. Something that I am proud to have, and you are proud to have commissioned. Get a bunch of spines and spikes. Maybe one of his horns is broken off, right? I give you my intelligent get creative freedom on it. Well, thank you. Thank you for issuing me a blank piece of paper, sir. This is going to be the rotten out eye, so it's just a glow in there, right? What the hell was that? Why did it switch to that screen? Don't do it! Photoshop, you son of a biatch. So we're probably only going to go another 10 minutes or so doing this, and then we're going to jump over to the animation stuff. I have a feeling we're going to probably bounce around these sketches for a couple of streams until we land on something that I think is strong enough to be a full illustration, right? And as I talk about in the podcast that you can find here on the stream or on the channel, sometimes you have to. I get locked into the what is the most iconic thing and not the story moment, right? So I'm looking for what is going to be first and foremost fun for me, right? And then secondarily, what is going to be the most interesting visual that I can present. And so far, this one's not bad. There's a good story there. But we gotta kind of play around with these things until we find something that works. Either very very iconographically, meaning it's got a strong graphic sell to it, or it has a really good narrative moment to it, right? Or hopefully a nice balance of the both of them. But I'm looking right now for shape, composition, that sort of thing. So filling in the overall shape of what is going to look like on the page, so that I can think of composition, right? Because first and foremost, the composition is important. And that goes back to the exercises, the thumbnail exercises that Viscera was just talking about. And why those can be so super important, because you can break things down into just their requisite components. Maybe we'll do some speed thumbs on Wednesday's stream. And then we'll see what comes out of that. Just speed thumbs with like dragons in mind, right? Like still just breaking it down into just shape and tone, and then see if there's something in there that speaks to the idea, right? Because I have that speed thumbs template where we can just like, here, I'll show you. My favorite actually is to go put a new layer in here and grab that calligraphy brush. My calligraphy brush, I haven't used it in a while. Don't know exactly where it is. I don't think it's this one. No, it's a little soft. Maybe if I turn that off. Yeah, see, it's too thick. I have a really good calligraphy one. Not general. Not the poster brushes. Yeah, this is work backup. Let's go to not Dave Greco. Wait, where's the general primary use brushes? There we go. I enjoy listening to this brainstorming. I find it person's process and thought is often as interesting as the final form that coalesces. Would enjoy it on a Wednesday for sure. Nice. Yes. Okay, this is looking more like it. But, nope. Yeah, let's do this. Let me take a look here. Yeah, see, this has to be 0. So, the good thing about this brush is it's easy to make. So I'll show you how I do it. Go to hard round. Go to your brush settings. Set the roundness to 0. Rotate it slightly. Set the hardness all the way up and the spacing all the way down. The spacing doesn't always need to be all the way down, and it will create issues on some people's computers. So you can put it at about 5% sometimes, and it should be okay. But you're gonna get edges like that. See that edge? Versus if I turn the spacing all the way down, let's go down even further. Let's go to 2%, 1%, why not? So you get less of it happening, but it's still doing a space in there. And so, back to the brush. Just bring it all the way down, hardness all the way up. Bring that size down a little. Yeah, that'll do. So, speed thumbs. Can't really do them in tone. I mean, you can do them in tone if you want, but I feel like they work really, really well in grayscale. So we're gonna go get ourselves, bring back that brush. There we go. So now with this, we'll make it flat and do some stuff here. And it's just a matter of kind of like feeling your way through it, really. Right? And because you've got this flat brush, you can rotate it around and do some things that are verticals. And if you know where your horizon line is, you can align it to the horizon line so that you get, right, this kind of stuff going on. And you're just thinking in shape and tone, right? Until you go, oh, okay, well, I've got this darker shape here. We'll put that in the foreground. And then I can go one shade darker. We'll go 3. right? So you have white, gray, white, 1, 2, and then the third, and then we can even do a black on top of that. So So really just thinking about composition, right? And then take that whole thing and mask it, and you have your composition. And that's just the basis for the entire thing. Did this become an adult stream while I was gone? That was fast. I mean, depends on your definition of adult, because I am most certainly not an adult. We know this. My doctor has something to say about that. So looking at balances here, kind of want to knock something in over here. And since it's white in the background, now I can just this is the fun thing about this brush is now, since I know what the horizon line is, I can come in and just knock in what would be like a road or a river or something over all of this. Right? And it just immediately gives you all of the story information and things that you need, and then you can just come in and fill it in later with your details in your mind and that's been fleshed out here, right? So we can see that there's sun, there's a horizon that's got some clouds on it. It's maybe a barren wasteland and a dragon in the foreground, right? And that's how quick it goes. Sort of like that first hour of the stream. So, that being said, we'll move that one up there. Hit save. And friends, we'll do some more of those on Wednesday. And we'll play with the layout and everything and see if we end up with something that is more compelling than this top one. And then we'll continue on if we don't find something that really sparks our interest and creativity with regards to this dragon thing. Like, I feel like I did the low-hanging fruit, right? But definitely we'll think about that one more and move it forward. Because this is a longer term illustration. It's going to take a little while. So we're going to close out our Photoshop. Boom. And we're going to move over to a little bit of animation, friends. Are you ready to animate with me, friends? Definitely looking forward to more of this on Wednesday. Me too. That felt good to kind of just scribble like that and come up with things. Always does. This is not the way I left this file. Damn it. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's where it is. Boop. Animate. Okay, friends. So, went in here. Got my three. Got my rotate and my translate. And the bone itself. And I set a keyframe so that I could test it. So she doesn't do much. It's a very slow ease in, and she just kind of kicks to the side. And then comes back up. So you can see that on the dope sheet. Where's my dope sheet? I just had it earlier. For crap's sake, on a crutch. Anyway, you can see it on the curves here pretty clearly. The ease ins and ease outs, right? In fact, I think I want to. Rotate, yes, yes, yes. All right, so that's at the peak of where she's at. So I've got it returning. So this is the static state, bounce, returning, bounce, returning, right? So it's subtle. It's her entire body. So we'll go to this frame. Is it 363? Yeah. Okay, so then go back to this one, right? 363. Then this one. Rotate, keyframe that rotation. Damn it. Scroll it all the way out to the end, which is at 1440, I believe. And we got the rotate. Haven't altered it at all. So we're gonna go back to the beginning here. And here we're gonna keyframe it also. And this is, I'm just doing these one at a time because I mean, I could auto keyframe everything, but I want to make sure that it's like actually doing what it needs to do. Whoop. No, here, let's go to 1440 and keyframe that too. That way anytime that I'm making changes, it's not going to mess with that one. So we're gonna move it just a smidge, and then we're gonna change the ease in, ease out, which is right here, to be an S curve. So now I can come in here and drag it that way So now she'll begin to bend. As the body turns. And then come back in. So now we can see the two of them together. Right? So I can see that right here, I need to copy this keyframe and then move over to this one and paste it in place. So same thing with this one. We're going to change this curve a little bit. Let's make sure it's an S curve there. And we're going to ease out. Might actually ease in even more on this. Grab these handles and move them in. So these are Bezier curves, right? And Beziers will give you the ability to change the way the motion works. And at the same time, if I move them up or down, they'll change how much it actually moves along the rotational axis in this particular instance. Other things like translate, if I was to move the bone to the side or something like that, then we could keyframe that also. So what I can do now is take this, copy it, move over to 1080, 1081, 1080, and paste it. And I do want to change it slightly, right? Because you don't want to have the same exact animation over the course of a minute. You want to mix it up a little bit. So I'm going to change that ease in, and I'm going to ease out just a little bit more. I'm going to make it a little bit more steep as it goes on. So she's going to hold it for just a smidge more at that second one. And then come back up. So it's not like, it's a fairly slow animation because I don't want to get, it's very casual kind of movement, right? So come back in. Feel like this one, the ease out is probably a little too great. So we're going to drag into it a little bit more and see what it looks like. So yeah. So what we'll do now is go to this bone and we'll keyframe the rotation and the translation, but not the shear or the scale. We're not going to change the scale on any of this stuff because it's not like coming towards the camera or anything like that. So we're doing a lot of this stuff fairly simplistically, right? So then we're going to go to the end. 1440 is our last frame. We're going to keyframe all that stuff again, and then we can do everything in between, right? And to look at where our previous frames are. So what I actually want to do is get just a smidge of float to her arm. So I'm going to take this and rotate it just slightly and keyframe it. What? Yeah, so it moves out a little bit, and then when she peaks there, let's take a look. She peaks there, just a few frames after it, we're gonna have it bounce down a little bit. We can grab it and make sure we're on the rotate. Bounce down, keyframe that. So now it should move up slightly. So we're basically going down the chain of her arm and animating it to react to the movements that we set on the core part of her body, right? So that would mean if the hand, or if the arm dips down a little bit further right there, and that's the lowest it goes. Oh wait, there's an extra keyframe in there. No. Can I change the color of my keyframes to make this easier to differentiate them? Probably somewhere, but I don't know where. Okay. So that's all the keyframes. I just have it next to it. So we'll zoom in here, move this a couple of frames, and then zoom out, and we will have this one move slightly down. Oh, can't do that yet. We actually have to. Ugh. It's the problem with doing loops is you have to keyframe the beginning and the end every time for every piece. So that was 371 that we were on. Yeah. So now we can take this one and we compose it and keyframe it. Nope. We're gonna move it back to right 363, right? I want to say that's the one. No, left arm. So 367, and we're gonna keyframe it there. Then we're gonna move forward. So 373. Actually, let's move this frame ever so slightly. Minus 2 frames, and then so that's 63, 64, 65, and then we'll take this one and rotate it. keyframe it, 66, rotate it, and keyframe it again. So we get just a little dip in it, right? Here, let's get that on the screen. Since that's what we're animating. Comes down, has just a little dip. Should be kind of, not violent, but, and we'll fix the easing afterwards. Boom, there. Maybe even a little bit more. Not too much though. Yeah. And then we'll take this one, copy it, and go to 69. Nice. Paste it. So now it's just gonna have a little bounce to it. Right? Just a smidge of a bounce. So then to accent that, on that bounce, what we can do is we can actually animate the finger bends a little bit, right? So that's gonna be this one, I think. Yeah. So, see all these frames here. So we'll do the same thing. We'll keyframe it at 63. Nope, that's not the one. This one. So we'll keyframe it there. It's gonna put a keyframe in. And then at 366, we'll take this one and rotate it just a smidge, keyframe it. So for all the, I don't want to sit here and hassle with a bunch of the small subtle stuff as far as the curves and stuff. So the initial pass is going to be to get the full timings down, right? That might actually be too much of a movement for those fingers. Yeah. So, since we know, go here. Bring that down by half. Yeah, there you go. It's a little bit better. Yeah, now it feels a little bit more like a bounce, right? So that same keyframe sequence where we have it, so it's 66 is the initial. We can do on the finger here. So we'll keyframe this 3 frames later, right? Six. Look at these bad boys. Don't like that the dope sheet doesn't have a way to scroll it. It only has a way to zoom it. So if I'm here, oh, there we go. There we go, found it. right click, friends. So this is the peak where her hip moves. This is the peak where, these are the peaks where her fingers move. So we'll go there. We'll select this bone, keyframe it. There. And rotate it slightly. And then go to 69. Nice. Paste it. It's hardly a move, but it's enough so that it sells it a little better. Actually, let's be drastic and see what happens. Right? That whole thing might be a little too slow after the hip. Yeah, because she eases in, snap. So, rather than going and adjusting all of those keyframes and moving them around, what I can do is I can grab the hip keyframe, which is, I believe, this one, and drag it just a couple of frames this way. So now, yeah. Oh, you know what I can do? Here. Where's the body 3? So we can change this so that there's less of a delay in less of a pause at the top of that motion. So it's more of a bounce. And I did that by just fixing the S curve, right? Yeah, there you go. So now because the S curve was coming up and it was flattening off and then going back down. So there was a moment of time that was about 4 frames long where she was just holding that, right? And we might have to do the same thing on this one, so let's take a look. Yeah, maybe. Let's bring this bezier handle in a little bit. And that changes that curve so that we've got, basically she just stops on it. It's like a 1 frame, right? Right? Is it 1 frame or is it more? Let's zoom way in and see how many frames we've got here. Got 77, 78, 79, 80, and then it starts to ease out. 77, 78, that's about 4 frames, right? That's not bad. On 2s, if it's just on 2s and it's 24 frames per second, that's not bad. It's not bad. Let's hit save, friends, because you do want to save the work that you do. So, got that. So I can, I believe, copy all of these states. Copy frames. And right there, paste frames. So now she'll just replay the action. And the reason that it's a minute long is because I don't want to make more than a minute worth of music for this thing. So, and yes, it's looping. So theoretically, I could put this all at 720 and then just repeat the timeline. But I do want to go in and make subtle changes so that it's not just the same thing over and over again. Which already, with the way that I changed the Bezier curve on the second one, it does it a little differently, as you can see, if you're paying really close attention, like I am. Okay, so back to this dip. So let's see. Let's give this upper arm just a bit of movement away from her body, as if the dip is causing her to shift, right? So I'm going to keyframe it. But before I change it, I'm going to go all the way back to here and keyframe it. And then I'm going to go all the way to the end and keyframe it. So now we're back at this key. So now I can rotate this a little bit. Oh, that's not the bone. Wait. Let's look at our keyframes here. Okay, it's keyframed there. We're gonna move that to 63, 69, keyframe it. 69 is where it's gonna bounce up at, or shift up at. So, I don't, thank you, Visra. I don't know that I'm skilled, but I appreciate the thought. It's still a struggle for me to get back into animation brain sometimes. So we're gonna copy this frame, go to 70. You know what, we're gonna ease out of this one a little bit more. So I'm gonna give it a longer out. It was too subtle of a movement. I had to move it really far. Let's zoom way in. There we go. So, with this form of animation, much like with sketching and art in general, you start with the big movements. That's why I started with the hips first. So I started with this bone primarily, right? Because that's gonna move the entire form. And everything, because the way we set it up with the bones that are connecting to the other bones, everything is gonna move with it. And then once I have that in place, I can go in and I can move the arms, because the arms are connected to it, and that's okay. So then I can just, wherever the arms are at the time, meaning on the timeline of the hip movement, they're going to keyframe differently, right? So, I mean, I can then take the keyframes that I did for the hand, or sorry, this arm here, and I can move these around independently, and they'll still maintain those same keyframes relative to the initial keyframe position. So basically I'm working big to small in the movements. So there's a lot of tweaking that's gonna happen between now and the end of this where there's just little minutia happening. Same as doing, like starting with a painting where you saw me earlier, starting with just those big shapes that are the compositional shapes. And then as we get in there more and more and more, we render down to the little details, and eventually we're painting pores and hairs and stuff like that. And I'm sure that there's other ways to go about it, but much like everything else in my life, it's all wrapped in it's all seen through the lens of an artist, so that's how I can convey it. I do the same thing with music. So there's going to be the big broad strokes, and then we're going to get really, really fine and granular eventually, and then we're going to have some music for this thing. So just before her arm comes up, right here, .65, we're going to have a little bit of a dip in her hand here. So that's actually a translate. So we're going to go to 64, and we're going to keyframe translate, and then we're going to go to 65, and we're going to move it down slightly. And we're going to keyframe translate. And then we're going to go to 66 and 67. And we're going to keyframe translate again. But we're going to move that back up. No, you know what? We're going to just copy this and delete that frame and paste that frame. Right. So now we have and it might be a little violent. So what I can do is just take those keyframes that we just did and spread them out some more. And it's just that there needs to be more frames there. So by more frames, when I drag those keyframes, it's basically adding time, right? So I'll just grab this and I'll drag it out, and I'll grab this and I'll drag it out. So I just added a bunch of keyframes in there. So now when it plays, we got a little bit more, it's a little more smooth, right? And this is the stuff that I love about animation. When it finally starts to come together after all that hard work that we put in the last week and a half, like trying to get this thing working in the right way. And I will say that the next time it's going to go a hell of a lot faster, friends. Because now I'm much more familiar with the program. Oh, and I was right. There was some things that had changed between the tutorial that I was watching and the version number that it's at now. And I had to find out what those things were. Which is the case sometimes. Okay, so it's interesting. I like that. But I feel like we need to get just a little bit more movement in the top part of her body, right? And that's going to be here. So that's this bone, right? It's that movement. So we get that arm going behind the body a little bit. So let's undo that. Let's go to, I guess that's the that's as low as it is, right? So let's go, let's keyframe the rotation. Turn that off. Go to the end, keyframe the rotation, and turn the loop back on. Go back to 360. Yeah, 363. Key the rotation. And at 66, we're gonna rotate it down and key that, and then come back and copy this keyframe. Dude, I can't see shit in my stupid contacts. Doctor needs to call me back and give me the right contacts. 63, 67, 69, and paste. No, it didn't copy the rotate. Copy. Okay, we can go a little bit further so that we get her upper body slowly coming up, and you can see that in the movement, right? So she's got this, and then 2 frames later she's here, and then like 6 frames later she's at the top of that movement. And we can also change that to be what? Why is it not showing everything again? Again, maybe a little too violent in that movement, so we'll grab this and we'll just drag it to the side a little bit more. Add a couple of frames in there. Ruh-roh. Yeah, just need some more frames to smooth it out a little bit. And then we'll change those curves later on. Are you guys having fun yet? Okay. Why is it not showing all of the things? Okay. Okay, so we've got a little bit of bend in the body. We've got the upper body moving, that arm kind of kicking out just a smidge. So now what? Now the head, maybe? So go back here, select the head bone, keyframe the rotation, maybe even the translation, and go to the end, do the same. And we'll go back here to put this a little bit ahead of everything else. Honestly, enjoying this. I had to simply close down what I was working on because I found myself watching her as you discuss the steps. Awesome. I like that. Okay, so go back into the pose and keyframe. We're gonna do rotate and translate at the same time. There's not gonna be a lot of translate, just a little. Oh, no, here we go. But then we're going to grab this and move it just a smidge. Wait, no. (65, 66) is where the dip is. So we're going to tilt the head and move it a smidge. Just a tiny bit. And we're going to keyframe that stuff. Then we're going to copy these. And we're going to go even further along and paste the next frames in place. So now our head dips down slightly, right? So there's another way to do this, which is to kinematic it, right? Where the bone of her head would have all of the bones down through her body follow it. So I could just move and rotate the head where I wanted it to be. I could just grab it and move it, and it would all just move automatically the rest of the thing. Haven't quite gotten into that whole thing. And this, it doesn't have quite the same control as this. So I would be able to keyframe like the head movement, and it would keyframe everything else, and then I'd have to come back in and keyframe on top of that all of the little movements that I wanted. All the dips and shifts and that sort of thing. So then on top of that movement, so now we're going to be looking primarily at the keyframes for her head movement, right? So we're going to go to this frame here, and I think we're going to rotate this one. I think. Let me double check my movements here. Yeah. So this one. I guess it decided we have too many bones to show all the frames at once. But I can control and select it, and we can see those. So then we can go to the next keyframe there. Select this bone again, and do a little bit of a rotate, not a translate. Rotates it this end. So the hair moves, and again, moving the hair, each thing independently rather than having it IK up. And then we're gonna click the rotate, and then we're gonna go to, wait, what is it? That's way over here, 87, right? 85, there we go. So click back on this. Paste there. Now she's got a little bit, you know what? These are actually gonna, whoop. We're gonna shift those. So that we get the hair moving as a secondary for when her head dips down. So her head dips, then the hair dips, as if it's connected, right? You're always working, Cosmonaut. You should be Cosmer Work. How you doing? Welcome in on a Monday night chill stream. We're just hanging out. I don't know how many people are still here. It's not like it's super interesting now. We did some sketches earlier. Pardon me. Did some sketches earlier for Rick's wonderful dragon commission from the Twitch stream. So we've got that going for us, and now we're just chilling with some animation, just some keyframing of this character and her hair. So we're gonna do a bunch of these little keyframes here that are gonna give this hopefully a little bit more life. So I'm gonna select this one and I'm gonna keyframe it. Oh man, this is so cool. So happy you're still going through this epic process with us. We'll be going back to watch that. Oh, well, thank you, Cosmer. You're a wonderful human. I appreciate you. I hope you had fun with all of that stuff that you were posting on the Facey books. It looked like a lot of fun. So we're going to keyframe the hair to be the same as this. So we're going to look at the hair keyframes and use those as our template. So we're at 370 here. So if I click on this, then I can keyframe it, and then I can give it a little bit of bounce here. Right? And then we'll copy this frame. And it's 380 something? Damn it, can't remember now. Let's go back. 389. So then we'll click back to this thing and paste it 389. So now if we zoom out on the dope sheet, it is actually called a dope sheet. Stories for days. Looking forward to hearing stories for days, Cosmonaut. So now you can see the hair all has its own kind of movement and momentum, right? And that is probably a little slow. So what I can do is I can grab this keyframe and shift it this way a few and then hit, right? Because it's going to have a little bit more movement to it. So let's actually drag this a couple of frames this way and then hit play. There you go. Not bad. The waitress gave me a child sippy cup to go for my espresso martini. Then I used it for Manhattans at the bars all night. That's hilarious, Cosmonaut. Where were you that they did that? Was that Vegas? Okay, so we've got some hair going now. So with that hair, it bounces there, but what I want to do is this hair here, the frame before, so I'm going to go here, I'm going to select this hair, I'm going to click rotate keyframe, I'm going to go back to this bone, and then I'm going to go to here and then click back to this bone, and then I'm going to rotate this ever so slightly, and then I'm going to hit keyframe. We're going to copy this one, go back to this bone and see where it is, 381. And go back to this one at 381, right? And hit paste. So now it all kind of has its own movement to it, right? A little bit of flow because hair is flowy. Let's zoom out some more. Let's check her ease in, see how she looks. Gotta go pick up dinner. I was dying to say hi. Well, have a wonderful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Wow. Okay. Well, have a wonderful dinner. I expect at some point we should pop on the Discord and have a chat and see what's going on with you, life, and all the good stuff. Should have done it at Shenanigans, but you wasn't around. Whoops, no wonder. I was like, what happened? Why didn't it loop? Because I turned loop off. Loop off. So, arm moves up, tilt. So probably around 400 or something. I want to do a little loop on her wings. So let's have a wonderful meal, Cosimer, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you soon. Let's go to 480 and keyframe this bad boy, because that's the root of the wing shape, right? So if I rotate that around, the wing shape will rotate. And this is one of those instances when iKang would be very handy, because if I move it up, these should rotate out more too, but we don't have that. So it's going to be subtle. Okay, so 480, we're going to have it move. Let's see. She just came down, so we're gonna maybe have it come up a little bit. So, rotate it out, and then keyframe it. Copy that 500. Let's say 550. Paste it back into place. So now it moves up, right? And the reason I don't want to get too big and broad with this, because I'm going to actually animate the glow on them, and in animating the glow, that's going to be hand animated. So I'm going to have to do all of those frames. I think. We'll see. Yeah, I might have a technique for making it happen easier than actually hand animating, but we'll find out. So let's go back and is it this one? Or is it this one? Yeah, it's definitely that top one, right? Because this one's going to compress that together. So, let's take this one, keyframe it. Bring it out a bit, keyframe it. And then go to this one. And paste it back into place. So then, right when it comes back down, so it goes there. Then when it comes back into place, just a little smidge, we want to have them close down ever so slightly. So we're going to take this keyframe, we're going to copy it. Where are we at? 50. It's less than a second. Paste it. Go midway between them. Hit a keyframe and rotate it in just a smidge. I feel like that hardly moved. Oh, there, let's do this. Move it in, keyframe it. There we go. Move this, keyframe here, back to this one. Take this one and rotate it in slightly. And keyframe it, and then copy this frame back. And paste it into place. So now we'll get just a little bump in the tip. It comes back into place. Might actually be too fast. Again, I guess I'm overestimating the keyframes. I think, actually, maybe it's not too fast. Yeah, so I'm gonna have it trail out a little bit more. Yeah, it's a little bit better. But then also, we want actually all of this to maybe happen a few frames earlier. So we're going to drag all of this way. Nope. It's one frame earlier. No, 2 frames earlier. It's such a subtle, animation is a very subtle art. It's really crazy that just moving this stuff like 2 frames will make it feel a little less static, you know? You know what it is I think I need to have a bit of secondary, or a bit of rebound on it. So what I'm gonna do is the keyframe here, is at 650. So at 652, I'm going to rotate it ever so slightly down. Just a tiny bit. I'm going to keyframe it. Then I'm going to copy that main keyframe and then go a few frames later, say 56, and I'm going to paste that back into place. So now there's a secondary reaction there where it comes down and it has a little bit of bounce to it. Yeah, so now that it feels a little less static on that when it comes down, right? Again, the timings are not all impeccable, but I'll do some ease ins and ease outs, which means, you know, it'll hold certain frames longer and it'll help to make it a little less static, or a little less, what's the word I'm looking for? Stiff. Okay, so now that we got that, let's do the other wing, same thing. So go here, keyframe it, and go to 550 and rotate it. And keyframe it. Copy the 480 keyframe. And now you guys can see why animation is so slow. Go back here, paste that keyframe in place. And let's do a little bounce down. Let's take a look at these keyframes. It's 650, 652, and 656. Okay. 650, 652. So rotate it down slightly, keyframe it, 656, back up, so now that we've got that, we can keyframe this one. And 652, rotate it in just a smidge, keyframe it, and 656, back to this one. So now, if we back to the beginning and hit play. Yeah, we'll have to make that stuff a little more subtle, I think, on the wing movements. Yeah, they definitely need to be more subtle. It's hard to know until you put this stuff into the context of everything, right? So there's a couple of ways to make it more subtle. You can have the frames more drawn out, right? So that when it comes back, it's just slower to come back, right? It eases back into to its position, and that's an ease out. So I'm essentially building an ease out just by moving the frames. I could do that by using actual Bezier curves, but we can also do it this way. That's this one, yeah. So now, I keep using Adobe shortcuts and it's driving me bonkers. Okay. So back. I don't know why play is D. Yeah, that's I don't. Yeah, it might be too much of a bounce. So let's zoom back in here. And pretty easily we can move this stuff and just grab it. Oh, no. Just this one. Oh, there. Drag it down so that it's not as drastic. So let's see what that looks like. You can even bring it further down so that it's a much more subtle bounce. Yeah. Okay, so now we know it's just bring that bounce way down and give it a nice long taper at the end. There's a beautiful method to the pace though. Seeing the geometry numerically at work in the shapes in real time is extraordinary. Yeah, Viscera, that's why I like animation, actually, is the just seeing how it all kind of comes together at the end, right? So, oh no, not this one. This one. There we go. So we're gonna take this, hit shift, and offset it a bunch, and then grab this, no, turn off shift, and just drag it up so that it's a lot more subtle. There we go. So now they both should be fairly subtle. Guess I dragged the other one even further out. Stops there. 740. Okay. Oh, wait. Is this the one? Yeah, this needs to go out to 740. And this needs to come down a smidge. Okay, now let's see. See, this is what I get for working out other movements first. Still got like a bunch that you need to, once you do a bunch of changes to things that are connected, you end up having to change them all. Let's see how this works. There you go. Eases back in. Real slow like. Real slow like. So I could leave that as is right there, and then put a smidge of a dip right here also. So just right at the base of that, I can take this one and rotate it. No, not too much. Just a little. Rotate that. Then copy this. Paste it in place. So you can see animation takes an awful lot of paying attention, because it feels to me even more so than illustration, right? Because I have to really look at the subtleties. That maybe it's that I'm not as locked in with animation as I am with other things, right? There we go. Now we have a little bit of a subtle dip there. So let's see. So with illustration, I can kind of get lost in the illustration and just talk to you guys. But with animation, I'm like, is it doing what I want it to do? You know? Super focused on the movement. Probably hit save, huh? Let's do this again. Keyframe. Rotate down. Keyframe. Copy. Paste. No, it goes down too early. So we can take this and just move it over by shifting. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. I just want to move these three. There you go. I'm glad to hear that. We're on YouTube? Wait a minute. Speaking of which, it's 9:20. We're approaching the end of the stream. Didn't get all of the animation done, which means we'll continue on with some of this animation on the Twitch stream. That movement's very jarring right there. On Wednesday, which means we'll get to the tail, some more in the hair, because I feel like there's some secondaries in the hair that didn't get addressed. So let's see. Vintage. I didn't even notice that it was you. I'm so sorry. I'm so focused. Oh gosh. I'm like in it. How are you, friend? It's wonderful to see you. Welcome to the tubes. So we've got that movement. I feel like the snap of her hips might be a little too much, so I might ease that a little bit more. Right? I don't gotta get the work done. This is all for us anyway, right? We're just enjoying. How are you this evening? Doing pretty good. You should receive the package tomorrow, I believe. Oh, that's wonderful. I'll keep an eye out for it. I will. I'm not going to open it, Vintage. I will wait, and I will do an unboxing on the stream. It is safe for stream, right? I mean, I don't think you draw and paint the things I do in my spare time, so I think it should be all right. What? So let's change this keyframe. Let's move this down just a smidge. It's at 78.6. We're gonna bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. We can also do this up here, right? I wanna do that. And we can make it really subtle there. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that works. So let's drag this down a little bit again. try and make sure that we don't make that one a little bit higher. We'll let that play. We have to do that. It's safe, but maybe I should have made it not safe. Yeah, maybe. I'd be like, oh. I actually, it's a bummer because I have hardcover number 3 sitting here in the box, and I wanted to unbox it with you guys, but it's hardcover number 3. So, if you know anything about hardcover, there's no pages that I can show you. So maybe we'll have to do like a Discord unboxing or something, like a shenanigans night, when people actually reply and join the shenanigans. Oh man, friends, this is coming along. So, let's see. I think I can make some of those drastic bends a little more subtle too, right? So maybe even this one, or no, wait, this one? This one, yeah, that one. There. Let's change these real quick and see what happens if we do an S curve here. And bring this down. Actually, let's make it a little curved, but not so intense. And same thing with this one. Let's do the same thing. Whoop, nope, here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bring this bezier in. Bring this one down so it, let's see. Okay. Yeah, the secondaries on the hair and the hand are selling it for me, but they're a little too twitchy, so we're gonna have them ease a little bit more. Right? Thank you, Viscera. Just a literal black box over everything, just my face. I'm like, oh, this one's great. Am I blushing? So something that I might do after I get all of these big movements in, I might actually move some of the keyframes up just a smidge, and then have, rather than having it be just, you know, kind of stuck at one keyframe or another, I'll have it translate between like a 1 and a 0 over the course of like so many frames that you can hardly tell it's moving. Just a very subtle kind of zoom, right? But that's kind of the last little tweaks where I'm gonna have to watch it over and over and over again. Like when you make music and you have to continually listen to the same thing over and over again to hear those little tiny things that need to kind of push it over the top. Yeah, that there is drastic. And you can see it a lot more now that I kind of made some of the other movements more subtle. That pop right there. So right there I need to extend those frames. And that's, I want to say here? No, here. Yeah, these guys. So let's do this. Let's take this and drag it out by 30 frames. That's almost a whole second. And then drag this one out by 60 frames. So 2 seconds. And then let's take this one and turn it into an S curve. So it eases out. See what this looks like. There you go. Nice ease out, right? Can actually do it with this one too. So we get ease in and ease out on this. It's much softer, much better, right? So let's do that on the other wing too. Oh man. I love this shit. So we'll do that here first. We'll turn this into an S curve. It's gonna snap here. So let's take this one and turn it into an S curve also. Let's drag this out a little bit so it moves a little bit faster. And this is where the subtleties are gonna start coming into play, and they're gonna start feeling a little more organic because they're gonna move independently from one another. Yeah, and this right here needs to be adjusted too. So we'll just turn it into an S curve. And we'll turn this one into an S curve. And whoa. Drag this down just a smidge and see what that does. Let's zoom out so we can see all this in action together. I like it, but you know when you're working on something and you're like, oh yeah, that's good enough. Is it that I'm convincing myself that it's gonna work, or am I just being lazy, right? So I like the wing movement. It's gonna look so freaking rad. Yeah, I'm so excited about it, Vintage. So excited. I'm excited to see where this piece finally gets to at the very end, and you know, sharing it with you guys along the way is a lot of fun. I can't stay because I've got to get up early, but I wanted to stop by and say hi. Vintage, thanks for coming by. I appreciate that. Wonderful to see you, and I will keep an eye out for the wonderful gift from you, and we'll check it out as soon as it's here. We'll pop it open in the stream together. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for coming by. It is actually 9:30, friends. So I think we might actually just call it an evening tonight. Yeah, and I don't want to do that, right? I want to be like, okay, yeah, you know, with birds, you can see that they'll sometimes move their wings independently, especially when they're tucking them in. They'll be like, okay, that, and then they'll shift another one, right? But yeah, it's I'm gonna make sure that I'm not like, yeah, that works because it's different than the other one. So, friends, there's a ways to go. There's a ways to go on this. And so I'll be back Wednesday and Friday, 7 p.m. PDT, Pacific Daylight Time. And we'll continue with some of the animation, but we're also going to continue with the sketches for the discovery of the next piece, the next long-term piece that we're going to work on. So come on by, hang out, encourage me to not quit. And thanks for hanging out tonight, friends. I appreciate you all. Vintage, rest well. Viscera, rest well. Everybody that was here, thanks for being here. We will we'll check you out in a couple of days. Have a wonderful few days. Moonchatis, welcome in and good night. It sucks when we're 3 hours apart, my friend. Yeah, so come in on Wednesday and we'll continue on with this stuff. Rick, thank you for hanging out. Have a great night, my friends. Yeah. What's the saying? Y'all know it. I love you all. Love one another. Be kind to one another. The world needs that now more than ever. And that's it from the arts department. Keep drawing, keep animating, keep creating the way you do. And we will see you next time. Welcome back to the arts department, everyone. Go for it.
I'm gonna go for it. Wee! And Daniel's like, and did you see my pencil? Look at this tip. This tip is like, this tip is, oh shit, yeah, I broke it. Hold on. This tip is the best tip because this one actually has some flex to it.
I do not break my tips.
Bye, go. Butts and tits and butts and tits and butts and tits and butts and tits.
You've reached Seb. Sorry I can't take your call right now, but leave a message after the beep.
It draws your eye and then pushes it up into
I just gotta stop. Oh boy. Friends like these, who needs enemas? Enemies. Enemies. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like the Swedish chef. They're making the earth and they're freaking into Photoshop. And, oh, queeps. There's a myth of the blade of inking. That whosoever pulleth out the blade from the inkwell will be, I don't know, an art monkey who it gets taken advantage of nonstop and people think they can just not pay. Oh wait, too real. It's supposed to be fancy. Why are you such a downer? I believe you get your ass kicked for saying something like that. I mean, honestly, Cox, if I could do that on stream, that's all this stream would be. I just said... Come on! Somebody has to think that was funny.
Duel on the poop.
They call it the poop deck because when you went to the poop deck, you pooped off the back of the boat. It'd be like, whoosh, and I would just get full fucking facial. Like, I'm like, ah. Right to the meaty nips of the bits. This is an adult stream filled with immature people. And we love it.